Hi guys, I just wanted to show you today that I'm revamping my nail table. It's going to take a little while to get to it done, but as you can see, my old nail table had a spot cut out for an exhaust fan. The new exhaust fan I bought since the other one broke is smaller and it won't fit, so I'm going to have to replace the tabletop and reconfigure it, hopefully to a better table. We'll see how we go. So here I am in my backyard. First thing I want to do is cut this little sideboard away so that my customers can sit comfortably. So far I've cut those two little pieces of wood as a height gauge for my shelf. So once it's put together, that's the kind of look I'm going for. Tidied up, of course. So this is the top of my table with the new tabletop attached to repair from the old hole. All it is a small IKEA dining table that I picked up many years ago that I've adjusted to be a nail table. All I've done is cut out the semicircle there for me to sit in. The reason I've cut the semicircle is because the width was too wide, so that lessens the width so that I can reach my customer more easily. I've also cut out that area there so the customer can get her chair under more comfortably. So we're in the floor of my nail room at the moment, and that's my table and what it looks like. So I'm trying to fit this fan into my table to create dust extraction. One of these that I got from Bunnings. Basically all you get is the cover and the fan, and that's the fan there. I wanted my fan to sit slightly lower than the table. So what I've done is I've placed a piece of wood underneath the table. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, underneath the table. And hopefully I've got the dimensions right, and that will slot into that on the other side, and hopefully we'll get a recessed look so that when the cover goes on, it'll sit flush with the table. Okay, we have the moment of truth. Let's pop this into the insert hole. Come on. Oh, look at that, like a glove. Awesome. Now, what I've done also is, because I want it to sit lower than the table edge so that I can just dust in any excess dust that's laying on the table. Now, I looked everywhere for these little buggers, and I found them at the pet store in the fish section for fish tanks. And hopefully that's going to work as a dust collector, as a majority of the dust collection. Okay, so let's see if this thing works. I've got my little drill. I've got my fan in my table. Let's turn the fan on. Cross fingers, people. Yes, it works. And it seems to be sucking away the air through here, which is fantastic. Let's see. Give it a little demo. Or see if we can get some sawdust happening. Yes, I don't know if you can see that. It's being sucked straight down. Awesome. Of course, we don't work up here as nail technicians. We normally work great. It's been taken straight through. So let's have a look and see what it's collected. It's gone through. There's the fan working away on its own. turn that off so I don't get my fingers caught. Look at that. That is awesome. And that's the other side. So it actually catches quite a lot. And this is a carbon fish filter. So I've just vacuumed all that sawdust up from the filter and it's all gone, which is great. So what you can do also with these, you can wash them, you can disinfect them, reuse them, as it's just going in your table to collect the dust. It's not touching anybody's hand. Awesome. I can just go sweep. Yay. So I had this leather type material. I do have enough to cover the table. So I think I might do that. See what it looks like. So I ended up putting the pleather on the table. Now what I'm doing is just putting the lamp base on the table for my light. Perfect. Here's the lamp base up close, the little piece of black you can see is just the rubber from underneath, but that's nice and solid, not going anywhere. I just wanted to make a quick note about the lamps themselves. If you are doing nails, make sure, I had to source these ones, but this is just an ordinary globe and it's just a normal screw in, not a it's not an LED. Make sure that it's a halogen or another type of globe, but LED is not a good idea, especially if you plan on doing gel polishes, or the hybrid putty nails. The LED will set your product while you work. So source these ones that are just the plain globe. In fact, I think this is an IKEA one, and I'm not sure if IKEA has jumped over to LED, but I know in Australia the places like Bunnings and Kmart and all those department stores, these now come with an LED light. So don't buy the LED because your product will set. Okay, so I have decided to put this shelf up on my desk that will cover the lamps, and so I've cut 2 pieces of wood that I'm now going to attach to the table from the underside. So sitting here at my table, that's what the customer will see. I have to do this from on top of the table. So I've taken the measurements of the piece of wood, drawn around that, put it on the table, and I've guesstimated where the holes are, and what I'm going to do is drill a clean hole through the table, and hopefully when I go to screw in the piece of wood, it'll hold. Well, that's the theory. Wish me luck. So these are the screws that I've chosen. Hopefully they'll be long enough to go through the table and grab on to the piece of wood. So we're underneath my table now. As you can see, I have one hole there and one hole there. And what I'm going to do is place the screws going upward into the table, and hopefully that will grab onto the piece of wood from the top. So the screws are just poking out the top. Hopefully I can grab that piece of wood. Hey, guess what? It worked! So what I just did then was I went a little bit just to center the wood, and then I went underneath like this while holding it on top with my hand and pushing down, and I used my knee as a bit of a backstop and pressed up while I drilled, and because I was pressing down with my hand, boom, it worked. Yes, picture we should have, there we go, that's the little bits on top. So here we go, I've got my knee supporting the drill from underneath. I'm pressing down with my hand on top, and hopefully it's gonna grab the wood. Let's give it a go. Okay, solid as a rock, good stuff. Holding that down, pressing from the other side with your leg and the drill, and that's as far as it goes. So those little drill bits have actually gone a little ways into the wood. That's fine, we have a solid platform. So there we go, we've got our 2 pieces of wood under there supporting that platform, and all I have to do now is pop a couple of screws up here to hold it down, and we're done. Okay, so what I've done is I've drilled the holes through the hole of the table. I've put the screws in to the point where that they're just hanging out from the bottom, so that when I match them up with the holes in the bottom here in the piece of wood, I can tell that they've matched up because they're not moving. Okay, and I'm going to continue to screw those. Wish me luck. One, two. Try and get that down just a little more flush with the table. That's better. All right, it's not moving. Okay, that probably went in a little bit far, but that's all right. It's a homemade job. Beautiful. So it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. Beautiful. Okay, it's on and it's not moving. It's sturdy. It's attached to the table. It is one with the nail bar. Yay!